Hello, boys and girls and parents. This is Pastor Sam with another Bible hero. Our hero for today is Peter. And I want to tell you the story that's happening on our Bible hero card here. Now I have my window open and hopefully you can hear a little bit of wind coming in because wind is going to be an important part of our story. So one day after Jesus had finished teaching, he told the disciples to get into their boat and to start rowing off on the lake, and Jesus would come and join them eventually. So Peter, who was one of the disciples, got into the boat with all the others, and they went out on the lake. But Jesus turned, and he went a little further into the land. He went up on a hill, and he was going to pray to God. Now it was about evening when the disciples went out onto the lake, but they weren't afraid. They were fishermen, quite a few of them, and they would normally fish at night. So they were very used to being out in a boat at nighttime. But this was a little bit different because as they were going out, as they were rowing, the wind started to pick up. And maybe you can hear my wind, maybe you can't. But the wind started to pick up and the rain began to come down, so raining full, and thunder and lightning were coming, and the disciples were afraid. Their little boat was going to and fro and back and forth, and it was almost tipping right over. Now, some of those disciples were fishermen, but they were starting to get so afraid. They were worried that they were going to drown, and they said, "Who's going to save us?" And then things got worse. They saw something out in the middle of the water. Somebody was walking on the water towards them. It was crazy. They thought it was a ghost, and they were shouting, "Go away! Go away, ghost!" But when the thing that they thought was a ghost got a little closer, he said, "Don't worry. It's me. It's Jesus." And our friend Peter said, "Tell me to come out there." And Jesus said, "Come on out." So Peter took one foot over the edge of the boat and put it down on the water. And then he took the other foot and he got out of the boat and he stood on the water. And he took a slow first step. And then another one. And he was still walking on the water. But then Peter started to notice some things. He felt the rain falling on his head. And he heard the wind howling all around him. And he saw the lightning. And he felt the thunder. And Peter started to get afraid. And in that moment, his foot went right through the water. And he said, "Lord, save me." And Jesus reached out his hand and he grabbed Peter before Peter could sink. And Jesus said, "Why did you doubt, O man of little faith?" They walked back together and they got into the boat. Peter is a bold leader. Peter would tell lots of people what Jesus had done for him and what Jesus has done for you. We're going to pray. We're going to thank God for people like Peter. You fold your hands and you repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for Peter and for all people who tell us about you. Amen. Thank you for coming and hearing my story about our friend Peter. I will see you next time.